Reset button.
We are back, episode 12, doing a little different for the first time, together, not via satellite. It is a reset button, Tannen.
I can actually reach out and touch you. Oh my god.
Yeah, and Casa de Tannen this
Yeah.
week. Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming back on the show once again, as always. Real quick, everyone, check us out on Twitter. Me, at the HibickyTMD, Tannen, at OTannensBum. Tannen, what you been up to this week, my man?
Not a whole lot. The usual. Working, gaming. Working and gaming.
Yeah.
That's about it. Not as much gaming as I'd like to do. I'd like to throw out the last episode I gave Final Fantasy 15 a lot of flack.
But you're only, about an hour into it?
Yeah.
When we talked about it.
And
You want to clear the name real quick at the top of the show?
Yeah. I want to go ahead and do it. After playing it for about 3 hours, I finally actually got into the game. Which, in my opinion, is what I would call a long-ass
Yeah, I was going to say, that's way too long for a game to...
Before I was even doing any real fighting, I was actually fishing beforehand, and I was like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, I want to play the game.
Yeah.
Give me the game. And then, finally, after 3 hours, got to what the actual meat of the game is. And, it is a pretty good game. I would like to buy it once it drops a little bit more, but until then, I'm still gonna wait. And I'm a secondhand buyer. But as I said in the last one, graphically it's beautiful. This time around, I'm actually changing my opinion on the gameplay. I still feel it's an easy game to play versus like our classic turn-based Final Fantasies in a way.
Yeah.
But
is it hand-holdy like newer generation RPGs are?
I'd say it is a little hand-holdy, but at the same time, it's not. I went ahead and did something that the game even advises you not to do. If you're traveling at night, it says, don't travel at night, you'll run into a demon. And I fought a demon at a very low level. The battle was hard.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die a few times, used a lot of my resources, but it was fun to actually have that. I like that kind of stuff where the battle is close. And actually, I feel like I'm taking on a actual
challenge. Now I'm confused. Did it take like 3 hours for an actual fucking battle, or like you had a battle, like a tutorial battle? I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, you have like a little tutorial battle, and you had a tutorial to go through before the actual game started. Which I went into that a little bit, but I was like, fuck, I'm running this from Redbox. I'm not going to spend like the next 2 hours of my life.
You got to get on it. It's a Redbox game. No time to fucking waste.
And but once I got into that, and then there's this part where you actually have to go to these 3 different tombs to gather weapons that your father has left you. That is when the game actually starts, in my opinion, and you are getting into
bust wide open.
Yeah, and you are getting into the battles, and the battle system is interesting in a way. I mean, you can still command your other characters to like get into it and do something different, but at the same time, I mean, they do take on that NPC personality, where like sometimes I don't want them to be in the battle because they're hurt or whatever.
But
and the computer,
choice.
Yeah, the computer's still like, no, I'm going in for it.
That is one of the biggest flaws of a real-time.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I mean, we've had to put up with that kind of shit since Secret of Mana, even.
Oh yeah.
But still, at the end of the day, I'm actually finding Final Fantasy 15 to be a lot better than what I said on our last episode, and I just wanted to clear that up.
Well, like, do you still have it, or did you send it back to her?
I already had to. Oh, I'm not going to spend,
Well, someday down the line, maybe like episode 50, you'll have a full when it goes down.
Oh,
finally.
Yeah.
Probably longer than that.
Probably
that game to go down.
Shorter than that, actually.
Like I've said before, I've yet to spend any time with it. I would hope for 55 fucking gigs, the graphics should be pretty.
Graphics are off the hook.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's complaining about the graphics at all in this game. I guess the only question I really got, and then we'll move on to Final Fantasy, does it start better than 13, and have you enjoyed it more than 13 so far?
So far, yeah.
All right.
A lot more than 13. So.
I mean, say what you want, 13 has its fans, but I'm not one of them.
I
tried like fuck to like that game.
I'm not either, and I think that they took a lot of the fan feedback from the people that did rage out about 13, because even when you start the game, it says a Final Fantasy for beginners and fans alike.
Yeah.
And that sends a message to you because you're like, oh, really? Like, am I actually getting into something that I'm going to like? And at first, no, you don't feel like that. You feel like, oh, this is targeted for beginners.
Yeah.
Fuck you. But no, it's definitely, I feel like they are taking more on the fan base. They took everything that everybody else complained about and moved it.
What's when they were saying about 13? Like, yeah, fans of fans of what X2 can appreciate in 13. Fans of those kind of Final Fantasy games, because yeah.
But I think even fans of like Final Fantasy 7 or especially 8 would enjoy this one as well.
I will say that Final Fantasy has always had its ups and downs, especially I would say around that shall not be named 8. Ever since 8, it's kind of like this one's good, this one's bad. It's kind of on and off. It's never had a really steady flow. With 15, I think this one was meant to be total fan service. Like, please come back, give us another chance. And they were scrambling. You know, I mean, that's what I take from it.
I think though too, this is a good precursor from what I've seen in the videos. This might be a pretty good precursor to how Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to go down.
Yeah,
and that's
totally.
what I'm saying with the fighting system. I just would like more control over my other characters that are with me in battle.
Yeah,
because in 7 you had full control. Whereas this you really don't in a way. So. With that being said, I just don't want to be Cloud the whole time playing it and then being like, oh yeah, I'm going to put up my defense, but why the fuck else is anybody else? Why is Barrett getting slaughtered right now? Why?
Yeah.
So, I mean, hopefully though, they take whatever backlash they get from this with that kind of criticism and kind of give you a little bit more control. I mean, one of the main things about the original Final Fantasy VII that I loved was the materia system. Your ability to control everybody else's abilities and what they could bring to the table, and really even going on their physical strengths. With Barrett being your long range fighter versus Cloud.
Total customization.
Yeah, I mean there were some bosses that you couldn't even fight because Cloud can't just jump across the thing and slash them and come back. No, Barrett's doing the whole thing on the elevator because he's the only one that can shoot them. So just little things like that. I'm sure they're taking it into consideration. Of course, it's a different development team going into it with this one, but I think they are also watching how people react to 15 to see where they can direct this.
I think so too.
And that's just that's the thing. The 7 Remake's going to be my baby. Like I'm waiting. Like that's why I bought a PS4. Sometimes I think And hell, that's why I got a PS3 and was still waiting.
Yeah, you figured it would be better.
But with that said, though, Final Fantasy 15 so far is a good game. I really felt kind of bad about just my first impressions being.
Well, you're honest though. I mean, it's what you experienced, and there's no shame in that.
But with gaming, first impression is never a lasting impression.
Unless you're fickle, and you're
which kind of actually goes. Let's just go ahead and dive into your review actually for this week's game of the week.
Are we going to do that now?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do it.
All right, let's mix the script up.
Somebody that went into a game, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go.
Who I was actually told, "Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to make me play."
That was the literal text, I think.
Yeah,
are you fucking kidding me?
And I at the end of the day, who says, hey, we're going to have shitty sushi today, and it turns out shitty sushi.
Well, when I was a kid, the sushi tasted like shit, so I carried it. No, I mean, I guess we all have those games. I'm sure you have them that you hated as a kid, and you go back as an adult. You're like, what was wrong with me? Like, this isn't that bad. Any games off the top of your head that were like that for you? Like,
yeah, very occasionally. Just trying to. Well, yeah, when I was a really little kid in Final Fantasy V, 2 came out.
2, yeah.
SNES. That was the first time I actually ever played a turn-based RPG.
You didn't like that jump.
I didn't
at
at first.
More like you didn't get it kind of thing.
I didn't. I thought it was going to be more like Zelda.
Yeah.
Like, looking at the back cover and everything, I was like, oh, man, this is going to be like a Zelda adventure. And then I was like, what the fuck is this?
I think I was the same way as a kid. I didn't like turn-based RPGs.
Yeah, well,
they were so boring as a kid.
I was 8 years old. I'm like, damn, this is a lot to read.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I might as well be reading a book right now.
And also, we're not in that generation. We're from that generation of no tutorials, no hand-holding, sink or fucking swim.
Yeah.
So who the fuck had patience for a turn-based RPG at 8 years old in the 80s?
Yeah, it was just like, what the hell is going on?
Japanese
kids.
did.
I'll just keep picking attack. Like, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to cry. This was my weekend rental.
Defend? Why the fuck would I do that?
But yeah, it was definitely. I got a little bit older. I think it was about 10 years old before I like accepted the whole turn-based RPG thing.
I think I was older until I came around on that.
But
let's get right into our game of the week, Tannen.
Yeah,
Wizards and Warriors for the NES, the first one.
It's one of the most badass fucking soundtracks
Yeah.
ever to a game, by the way.
I did know going in it had good music. I did know that, and that so many shitty NES games, they do have good music at the end of the day. This was by Rare. Rare.
It was.
87, 88.
Our makers of Donkey Kong Country came out with this one.
Yeah.
And I hold a lot of dear memories with it. It just, it was a game. Also, about the same time that we had Zelda. And to me, though, like, Zelda 2 was also around whenever I got my hands on it. And to me, it was better than Zelda 2. I just thought it was awesome. I could jump around on this. Even on the way that they did the trees in the background, you could still jump on them. You could jump on everything, and it felt right.
But I will tell you one thing, the platforming can be hair-pulling in this game. My God, some of those jumps are ridiculous they would ask you to make. Wizards and Warriors, this did not have Fabio on the cover. That was the second one. This is the OG Wizards and Warriors.
This is the OG with a... It was still a model.
It's still badass cover. Way cooler than a Fabio fucking...
but you are not a shirtless man with a sword and long hair.
Not a romantic novel.
Going through a 1980s fucking metal video. You are in a full suit of armor, and you are jumping on trees. This is the first level, by the way. You're jumping off of trees to gather the keys and the gems to be able to get through the Dark Knight that is at the top. Why is he hanging out at the top?
I know, he's such an asshole, too. Like, he just stands in your way. You need, like, 100 gems to...
You can't even walk up and try to bat him with your sword. He's just going to continue to try to kill you.
He makes you his bitch.
And, it kind of reminds me of, in a way, Monty Python. The Dark Knight is standing there.
It looks like him, too.
Yeah. He's just... I wonder if that's where they got the idea.
I'm thinking maybe that's where they got the inspiration.
But once you get your 200 gems, you get past his shit... All of a sudden, now you're in a cave.
Now shit gets real.
Yeah, you get into the fucking caves.
Fucking little glacier guys.
Oh man, and they come at
shadow
you like
guys.
Shadows. Oh, they're like demons.
You can't do fuck all against unless you have the dagger, the throwing dagger. If you don't find that dagger, you're fucked. So you better find it, and the shield for that matter.
Fast forwarding though to one of my favorite levels in the game was the tower. And if you found the forest frustrating, welcome to the fucking tower.
Now, you have beaten this game many times.
Many times as a kid.
I've never beaten this game. This week, I only made it to about stage 4, maybe 5, I can't remember. I did not
My favorite boss is the giant bat.
Okay, yeah.
I fucking loved it. I think because every time you hit him, he would go whack, whack, whack. It just it would turn multicolors. I loved that as a kid.
I will really say, I mean, as opposed to like obvious adulting reasons why I didn't beat the game, if you play this game, there's really no excuse not to beat it. Because this is one of the most fair games on the NES. Like,
it is.
When you die, you still have all your shit.
You're unlimited
You're
continues.
Still good.
Unlimited continues.
Not even that. Like, unlimited continues plus. Like, they hook you up as far as, respawning. It's very fair as far as that. So there's no reason you shouldn't beat this game. It does get hard, but it's very fair.
Because if you fuck up, you're still there. The final level, though, the tower. Well, one of the final levels, I should say. But the tower, you have to climb this tower. And a lot of the bricks are moving out and in.
Yeah.
So you have to time yourself as far as your jumping goes. This is where your feather comes in. The feather makes you levitate. For those who haven't played it, you get this feather object, and you actually levitate, and there's sparkles going around you. And that is one of your most important weapons when jumping at that point. It makes jumping so much easier in that game because you can actually do mid-jump, sparkle, and then go ahead and land. It's awesome.
Speaking of jumping, what I thought was weird in this, how, you know, you know what I thought was weird in this, how, you can't attack when you jump, but you kind of can. Like, if you just touch them when you're in the air. Why didn't they just let you attack them?
As long as you touch them with your sword.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was a glitch.
Because one of the things
I killed him with my helmet too.
Really? One of the things in the first level, if you hit a spider without your sword, you can either hit their web and kill them, which that was cool, or if you hit the... Hold on.
Cat's up on the counter, guys.
Yeah,
All apologies. Sorry. He's excited about Wizards and Warriors.
We're in a house. Also, though... anything that you jumped into with your sword first would actually kill them. But if they hit you from behind, that would kill them. Or if you landed on them with your feet, guess what? You were still hurt. So...
Yeah, I just thought that was weird. Coming away from this, like Tannen said, I hated it as a kid. I got to come away, something about this game I couldn't stop playing. Maybe because it was so fair, with the deaths. I fully admit I've come around. You've converted me, Tannen. Wizards and Warriors, my opinion, check it out. You could do much worse.
What would you grade it at? For an NES game at its time. If this was 19...
At its time. At its time, I'd give it... I mean, hell, maybe an 8.5, an 8. Now I'd give it maybe a 7, 7.5.
Okay.
Maybe not as high as you thought.
I'm still going to continue the 8.5 grade for myself. Because I still really enjoyed playing it. Still had a lot of fun with it. The music itself is pretty awesome. Nothing better than having your mom be a church organist that could be like, oh, I know that sheet.
Did your mom learn it?
Yeah.
Wizards and Warriors song.
Yeah, and played it on the organ.
Well, it's actually, man.
It's actually a song, I believe, by S. Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of classical music in that.
There's a lot of classical music in NES games in general. They slipped in.
But yeah, that's another reason why it sticks out in my mind. I know I get pretty sentimental on this show, but
you need a tissue, man. Feel free.
Hey, not a lot of people can say, hey, I grew up in a church, and mom's an organist. Yeah.
No, they can, especially learning NES tunes for you.
No, there's gonna be a loud crash here in a minute.
I'm excited this week. I'll try to fit this in before the loud crash. It's my turn, Tannen, finally.
Yes, it is.
To pick our game of the week. It's going to be an NES game, and speaking of great NES music, this game has one of, in my opinion, the top 5 overall. Some of the most diverse musically anywhere on the NES. I don't know how you feel about the game. I don't know if you remember the game. Solstice for the NES, Tannen.
Oh, yeah.
It's an isometric, kind of puzzly.
Yeah, that actually is a pretty good game.
Yeah, that's one of the games my mom played growing up all the time. Solstice. She was a junkie for that game. So, yeah, that's our game of the week next week.
Cool.
For you guys, we did have a comment this week. Next week, thank you, by the way, for our game of the week next week. We'll get on that. But always feel free in the comments down below, request anything on Twitter, Facebook. We'll play anything as long as it's reasonable. Not Final Fantasy VIII.
We'll actually play it without reason, too. I just want to remind listeners.
Unless it's Final Fantasy VIII.
If you have a shitty game that you want us to play, not one that we've already talked about, we will play it. We are the brave. We are the few.
We're the proud.
We're the proud. We're the reset button.
Speaking of brave, Tannen, Bethesda and Microsoft going to be butting heads soon, aren't they?
It seems that way. It's already scheduled, and this is a little bit weird to me because this is the first E3 ever to be open to the public. You can go and buy tickets,
yep.
But I think they're handling it like an All Good festival. And for those of you who have never been to All Good, it's a music festival, but where there's 2 stages and there's 2 great bands that you want to see. But guess what? They're on at the same time.
Yeah.
Bethesda and Microsoft are actually scheduled to be doing their press briefing at the same exact time. So for you ticket buyers who, I don't know how much the tickets were, didn't look into them, but I'm going to assume you might have dropped about $300 on the ticket itself.
At least.
You're going to have to choose.
Just stand in lines all day.
Bethesda or Microsoft. And who knows, maybe you're actually all going to converse at the same stage and they'll come out together holding hands and be like, guess what? We merged!
Singing REM, Shiny Happy People and shit.
Oh my God.
Tannen, I get this. I get it's business, but is this good business? Because I think the last thing you want to do in a genre where at the end of the day, we're all one community, you don't want to divide the audience.
I find it to be bad business, actually.
You want to get as many eyes on your product as once as you can.
And normally you have the big names being separate, and then when there's big names going on, you have your indie people
Yeah.
that go in at the same time for those who are the diehard fans of the indie people, and at
Second
the same time,
stage.
and the indie people aren't losing out because there's still a video being made of their press conference. So
Yeah.
who fucking cares? Everybody's still getting a fair
They're just happy
share
to
of
be
shout.
there, the
Yeah,
indie guys.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
To make a move like this, I don't know. Did E3 just say like, let's piss off some people, as in like, let's piss off the CEO of Microsoft, which is that still Bill Gates? I don't know, and let's piss off the CEO of Bethesda, which is not based out of Maryland anymore,
Yeah.
and let's go ahead and let's just see how much they argue about this. So I think this is going to be a story that's going to be still developing, but I think both companies are a little bit pissed off, especially since Bethesda does make games for Microsoft,
Yeah.
and Microsoft accepts those games and knows that Bethesda has a strong fan base. So I think both companies are going to be more like, what the fuck are you guys
It's
doing?
about to get uglier than homemade soap up in there when that shit goes down. Total head scratcher. Another head scratcher. Just to get through the news real quick and stuff, guys. Pewdiepie
Sucks.
Well, he does suck, but he's also a fucking idiot, apparently. More than we already thought he was. I don't know if any of you guys are fans of PewDiePie. I don't know why you would be. Don't endorse people like this.
PewDiePie, I'm gonna make some anti-Semitic jokes, huh?
So yeah, Tannen, he had a deal with Disney, Google, all that good shit. It looked like he had it made in the shade, and then he tried to be funny guy.
Well, he was on South Park.
Yeah.
But when you're on South Park, that's okay. If Matt Stone and Trey Parker were paying him money, millions of dollars, maybe still go ahead and do your thing. If you were targeting adults, that's fine. But no, the reason that South Park even made fun of him in the first place is because he targets children. Children love PewDiePie. He's like the Sesame Street of the fucking gaming world when it comes to making gaming videos and podcasts and everything that, well, we like to do, but he eats up all the money.
Yeah.
So anyway, though, you don't crack anti-Semitic jokes
on any platform.
On any platform.
For that matter.
Well, you can.
You can't.
But
it's
just
touchy-feely.
make sure that if it's anti-Semitic, you're the Semitic that you're making fun of yourself. Make sure you're pulling a Mel Brooks.
Or a fucking Jerry Seinfeld or something.
Yeah. You don't turn around and when Disney signs you on, hey, like we want you to work with kids, and Google to keep that kid target, and then don't start making skits. Here's the thing that gets me is he actually, for these jokes that he formed, these videos, he actually got these guys. I believe they were from India. It was some kind of thing that you pay into, and these actors come up and they film it, and they just read the lines. And the actors do claim that they were like, we didn't know what was going on. We just read our lines. We were paid actors. I do believe them to a certain degree, but did you not read the script at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, come
or
on.
did you get up there and read your lines? But with that being said, like, yeah, I don't think he even went so far now as to the actors are now banned out of that program as well. I am against that. They were hired by that company, actually, to work for them. PewDiePie paid that company to recruit them, still accepted the script, still handed them the script, and then says, oh, no, you're banned. No, company, how about you keep those actors going and you just get PewDiePie the fuck out of it?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we all knew for a long time, I think as adults, that PewDiePie was an idiot.
It just blows my mind how he has one fan. I mean, I don't want to come off as like sour grapes, but it is what it is. Speaking of like channels, guys that run channels that are kids, I don't know if you know who Dan TDM is. One of the most popular YouTubers in the world right now. My kids are obsessed with him. That's the only reason I know. But he has deals with like Nickelodeon. There's like this Pop It line he has a deal with. He's been in like Minecraft story mode. Actually appeared. I can't stand him because my kids watch all the time. It's frustrating, but he's classy. He would never do something like this. That's one thing I can say.
He actually delivers to the kids.
He's a good person.
Yeah.
He's not,
But as far as PewDiePie goes, I mean, and I don't know what Disney was thinking. Like, this was after he appeared on South Park. Oh, let's get him on here. Yeah. Like, he's been on South Park. What the fuck? Like, no. Maybe Paramount should have somebody else, Viacom, somebody. But you don't see somebody on South Park and say, let's bring him in.
Well, in my eyes, this was a hotch by Disney a hot shot cash grab. Let's just swoop up one of the most popular YouTubers. We have no fucking clue what he's all about, but all we see is dollar signs. And this is the effect of when you do something like that. You take a risk like this, and it fucking blows up in your face.
And yeah,
You know,
is PewDiePie Jewish?
no fucking clue. No, I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not going to take the time to Google
Yeah,
it.
I'm not.
I was just kind of wondering, is he Mel Brooksing it? And then maybe I can defend him more, but
I can't though, because you're doing this on a platform that's tied with the kids like Disney. I mean, that's just not appropriate at all in general. I don't know. Like I watch like current Nick shows with my kids, and I'm not gonna lie, they slip in some adult like overtones sometimes. I guess for the
but
parents.
that's the fly over the kids' heads.
It's meant to fly over the kids'
It's like the
head.
sex jokes that were made in Rugrats. I mean, nobody's going to actually argue with that.
Yeah.
Because it's still presented so innocently that you can't.
I mean, this is kind of like. Do you remember the Soupy Sales thing from the 50s? That ordeal.
No.
Do you remember Soupy Sales at all?
I don't remember Soupy Sales.
Soupy Sales hosted like this kind of Captain Kangaroo show in the film. My dad actually told me this story. That's the only reason I fucking know it. You know, it had puppets and all that good shit. One day, and this is the 50s, mind you, where everyone was watching like everything like at the same time because there was like 3 channels. He would tell the kids to go in their parents' room when they weren't there and get the little magical green pieces of paper with the president's face on them and mail to him. I mean, he got in a world of shit for that. Got his show shut down for a while. But they were pulling shit like that in the 50s. That's kind of what this reminds me of. Yeah. Someone who's claiming to be, you know, like kids-oriented, but he's got ulterior motives.
I never thought PewDiePie was actually kids-oriented. He says fuck on his videos a lot. He uses profanity. It's not like he ever censored himself. I don't know what Disney was fucking thinking in the first place.
I would have thought they would go for someone like a Dan TDM, who, honestly, for as many videos I've seen him, never swears.
Well, here's the thing about Disney. And I've auditioned for a Disney park before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They want a pretty face. He's got a pretty face. Yeah. And I think that's really what they were looking at. And they were like, the kids play games, you know. I'm pretty sure there was some exec that was like, oh, that PewDiePie guy, let's get him in here. Yeah. You know, like, I don't know. Sarah Silverman's even been involved in some Disney shit. But, you know, her contract only allows so much.
Right.
So that's why...
But she's actually in SAG. She's not just some fucking YouTuber.
She's union. She's union. But what I'm saying is that, like, I think he went into it as an internet star. I think they went into it, too, probably to pay him for cheap. God knows, like, what his paycheck was. Probably wasn't that much is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
But, so they, in a way, they probably tried to exploit him. But, yeah, still, though, you're working for Disney. We don't do the anti-Semitic jokes anymore. And also, PewDiePie, I mean, I know my voice is annoying at times. I know I get loud. But, like, every time I look up a PewDiePie video, all he's doing is screaming and just playing Call of Duty or something. And it's just, I'm not entertained. I'm not entertained at all. No to PewDiePie. And, you know, like, whatever. Hey, PewDiePie, if you ever listen to this, you know, like, I don't hate you. But I can see where you fucked up. For Google to ban you, though, that's some strong shit because Google still lets pro-Nazi shit on their site. So you saw my defense there. You know, like, I'm not saying, hey, let's be pro-Nazi, but what I'm saying is you know, like, you're cracking a joke, whereas pro-Nazi people are being pro-fucking Nazi.
Yeah.
And Google's not banning them. So
I guess at the end of the day, what we're trying to say is don't try to be too cool for fucking school and slip in a little quip joke because it'll bite you in the ass. I don't know, like, how you feel, Tannen, but I do know as content creators on YouTube who are compared to, like, PewDiePie, we're such small fish in a big pond. The genre we're in, it's hard to stand out. Gaming in general. It just is. Out of, like, more of the bigger YouTubers, I can honestly say, like, a lot of them are fucking fake guys. Don't believe the hype. They're not good people. I'm not all of them. People like Pat the NES Punk, James Rolfe, Ian Ferguson are down to earth. You do have people like that, but for the most part, people like your PewDiePies. You could even go. I've heard horror stories about JonTron being a dick. But people like Pro Jared, they're so fake, dude. It's.
No, you got the angry video, what angry gamer. Not James
the irate
Rolfe.
gamer?
Irate gamer,
yes,
there we
he's
go.
He's a fucking dickhead.
Oh my god, he's a fucking dick.
Well, that's one thing I can say for our show and anything on this channel. Yeah, you might not like our shit.
Man, I need to sign into YouTube and actually pull up where his mom yelled at me.
Really?
Oh yeah, I made fun of him so much. I was like, "Go back to your youth group, you fucking."
But yeah,
I was trolling his site. But he made a remark that James Rolfe was ripping him off. James Rolfe, I love so much that I'll watch his videos and feel like I hung out with him for like the past hour, and I feel like I could email James Rolfe and he'll respond, and like everything's cool. Like whereas Irate is, I don't like his voice. I don't like how he looks.
Yeah, I don't like how he looks.
I hate his jerk off face. I hate him so fucking much. There is a passionate thing as to why I hate him. But it was because it was one video that I pointed out he was taking video jokes from James, and I just fucking attacked the shit out of him.
Blatantly
taking. And then of all people to attack me back was not him personally, it was his mother.
His mommy had to fight his battle for him.
And this is like 6 years ago, by the way. We're almost a decade later, but I'm just like, oh yeah, bring it on, Mom.
Randy Savage about it, but yeah,
yeah.
I guess at the end of the day, to wrap up the big YouTuber Pewdiepie shit.
Suplex her right into the match, rip her in. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Tana needs to take those steroids again to get back on track, but we will never bullshit you guys. What you see is what you get. This is us in real life, so I mean, it is what it is. Moving on, you think it's about break ski time, Tana? Or you want to get another story in?
Well, there's a little bit more news. We'll just go ahead and get it out of the way.
We actually prepared this week.
Morrowind. Back online. Actually, not back online. More like bringing it online. People got Skyrim online. A lot of people were like, I don't like Skyrim so much. So you know what Bethesda decided to do? They brought your ass Morrowind. And in my opinion, I don't know, Travis, if you ever played Morrowind, but this is a positive for me.
I think so too.
I hope they bring in the classes. I hope they bring in the guilds. I hope they make it just as deep.
I think they will.
As what the single player was, but online.
I've never played in ESO online ever. I've only ever played the single player experiences, so I have no clue what it's like.
I haven't played Skyrim online, but I liked Morrowind more than Skyrim. I am one of those people. Sorry.
I'll take it. I'm one of those people like Oblivion out of all of them the most. Ooh. Just because I guess I played that the most. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good.
On the GameCube,
Morrowind was fucking awesome, and it's like a reboot for Morrowind too. You're gonna get the updated graphics. You're gonna get everything that you liked for Morrowind. It's Bethesda. They like to target, I think, their older audience a lot more sometimes to try to get that audience back.
They're one of the best at that.
So I think that's a good one. Cuphead. Yes. Finally.
A game I know little to nothing about. So, Tana, this is all you.
Cuphead, I saw a trailer for, I want to say, like 3 years ago, and it's told myself that's why I wanted Xbox One. And it's it's kind of like a team-up shooter / beat-em-up. It can be 2 players, and it's all been completely hand-drawn in the style of 1920s to 1930s cartoons, which are some of my favorites. Like, Felix the Cat kind of a feel to
Oswald the Rabbit.
Oh, yeah, the classic Disney, or more like a Steamboat Willie thing, if you want to throw that in there. Or classic Looney Tunes, going back to the first Tex
Smoking cigarettes and doing things cartoon characters shouldn't
be doing.
Back
before talkies became real people, animation did it first, and you're going to see it in this beautifully hand-drawn game that I'm sure is going to have a lot of glitches when it comes out. But there's still... I knew it was. They said it was going to come out 2 years ago, and it got pushed back. Now they're saying finally this summer we're going to get us some Cuphead, and I got my Xbox One ready for it. I mean, I will throw down.
Ready to play something on it.
I'll throw down $60 for a side-scrolling, completely hand-drawn experience.
You think it'll release at 60? You think it won't be like 40 or 50?
Yeah, it probably will be 40 or 50 because it's a side-scroller thing. But it's completely hand-drawn in that style, in that Tex Avery / like old MGM / I could just list a bunch of animators, even Walt Disney characters in that style, in the old style there. You're talking Snow White era rolling up in there. Really looking forward to that game.
I know you're not like a big PC gamer. Last year, a game that got a lot of praise I haven't touched is called Owlboy. You heard a lot about that game last year?
Not at all.
It's like a hybrid old school sprite game, like a twin stick shooter mixed with a platformer. It looks really cool. It's only on PC. So that's what this game kind of reminds me of.
Right on.
Oh.
I'll have to check that out. Also,
Delays. Oh, Naughty
out
Dog.
the ass. Well, let's just go ahead. We'll talk a little bit more just for a second. Mario Kart 8 on the Switch. Travis, do you not, or do you disagree that they should have just gone ahead and given us? They should have just done Mario Kart Double Dash 2.
We should have got something new, not a rehash. I mean, it's cool you're getting new characters and all that in this Ultimate Edition of 8, but if you're gonna do that, just make a new fucking game. You've had 3 years to do that in Mario Kart 8. You know what I mean?
And just a cart that we could switch
Yes.
characters.
Yes.
They actually made it where we get 2 weapons.
Yeah.
You can still pick up 2 weapons on the track, but you can't switch between the weapons.
Nope, you're not getting that gimmick we salivate over.
So why didn't we just get 2 characters riding on a cart? Mario Kart Double Dash is my personal favorite Mario Kart ever, next to the N64 one. And I am thoroughly disappointed. I think they would have done a lot better just being Mario Kart Double Dash 2.
Yeah.
Not calling it anything else, Double Dash 2, just making that its own franchise. And I think that would have been a much better game.
Mario Kart Switchback.
Yeah.
I don't know, something, not this. I mean, this is cool. I mean, for anyone that, 2 of you that had a Wii U last time and didn't play MK8, I mean, this is a great opportunity, but pretty sure we all did. It's just the era we live in, man. I mean, I knew eventually Nintendo was going to fall into suit of the other big 2 about re-releases like this. So it's just a matter of time, in my opinion.
But just take your re-release and reprogram it just a little bit, for fuck's sake.
The fans want this since 2003, since Double Dash. Fans have been demanding that this gimmick for Double Dash comes back.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to re-release Double Dash.
They're going to re-release it. Yeah.
So we have to download it, pay $30 for it.
Yep.
Thanks, Nintendo.
That's what's going to happen.
Oh, God.
Well, you're pissed off about. Here's something I'm pissed off about.
What are you pissed off about?
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. You know, more details have come out. One of the best fucking 2D fighters in general.
Ever.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah.
The original one. 3 was, it was whatever. It was okay.
It was just a filler for what we waited for, but what's going on now?
3 still felt like 2 at the end of the day. They're taking out 3 versus 3 in Infinite, the newest one. Now it's only going to be 2 versus 2 with no assists. Like we've been playing Skullgirls and shit, you can, for an assist in any Marvel versus any tag fucking fighting game. This is asinine. I don't get it, especially with King of Fighters just dropping, especially with games like Skullgirls that are indie games that are really popular. I don't get this. It's a fucking head scratcher. I don't know if it's, you want your fucking graphics to be prettier, so you cut. I don't know what the fuck it is, man, but it is. It is, and that's. I don't know. I don't know if you're a huge fan of the series, Tannen, or at all, but I was, and I don't think I'm gonna pick up Infinite if more details like this keep slipping out. Honestly.
Yeah, no, it'll be a price drop thing for me. Probably gonna end up free, on PS Plus a year after it comes out.
Yeah.
Way to fuck over your fans. Battlefield 2, scheduled to come out this fall, actually catering to its fans.
I was gonna say not fucking over their fans.
Not fucking over its fans. Actually bringing back the job classes. Bringing back the space battles, bringing back everything that we loved about the original Battlefront 2 on PS2. I'm extremely excited about that. Not disappointed, and I kind of figured DICE was going to go that direction after what we had with the fallout of Battlefield.
Yeah.
Battlefield looked beautiful. Everybody loved the graphics, loved the voicing, loved the sound effects.
They just wanted
my God.
the full package.
But where is the content?
Where's the meat?
Where's the meat?
Just like Street Fighter fucking 5.
Meat!
Yeah, it's a good fighting game, but
I want meat!
No potatoes.
No
plenty of potatoes.
Okay, and finally in our gaming news, Uncharted.
We can do it. I believe in you,
Uncharted, which was originally supposed to be a DLC featuring Chloe, your hero from the 3rd game, is going to be the lead.
Which, I mean, at the end of the day, does this need to be a full game? Couldn't this just be like a Left Behind, like in The Last of Us, like adding on to...
Let's see how big the game is. Chloe was a good character. She's got a nice ass.
I wouldn't know. I haven't, you know.
Oh, well, once you meet Chloe, you're gonna be like, she's pretty good looking on the eyes. So you're gonna kind of have your, she's British, so you're gonna have Tomb Raider in an Uncharted world.
Yeah.
And if they make the story good enough, they make it big enough.
I mean, it's Dude Raider to begin with.
Yeah.
But, you know.
That's going to be that. So a delay though, if they're adding more content to it, having the actors act shit out, it's going to maybe embark on a storyline. It'd be great to see some more Nathan Jake just at least pop up for a cameo, if not his daughter. Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's okay.
So that's that. That's our news.
That's the news this week, guys. Pulled something out of nothing. I mean, there was some stuff to talk about.
Way to do something from nothing.
More or less got fired up.
Got nothing.
Fired up over
Gonna
the news
have
this
to make
week.
something up.
I don't know. Any conversation that has Pewdiepie in it, I'm gonna get a little fired up to begin with. So.
Well, that was all of it. When we get back, Breath of the Wild tidbits, some things that we're going to be doing.
More news
with this
slipping
game,
out about it.
A little bit news about that game. Travis's game of the week pick.
I already said it. I already said Solstice. But it's okay. We're doing it. See, that's what happens when you mess with the format.
Yeah, mess with the format.
We come back, we'll think of something. We're here. Fuck it.
We
are live.
But a little bit more talk about Breath of the Wild. Totally excited. Shit.
On the reset button.
Hell yeah.
Stick around.
Hey, you dirty fucking pigs. Mike here from the Slam Pigs Podcast, reminding you once again to check us out on Twitter, whether it be the Slam Pigs Podcast, whether it be me at Mike the Slam Pig, or whether it be our sister show, The Reset Button. Check us out. Also, you can find us on Facebook at the Slam Pigs Podcast or The Reset Button. And as always, make sure you check us out as a whole on Hibiki TMD. Until we see you next time, oink oink.
We're back, Tannen, the Reset Button, episode 12 at Casa de Tannen once again. It's been a fun-filled episode, Tannen. More tidbits of Breath of the Wild has come out this week.
A lot more actually. We're looking at things that would go into an open world kind of
Western RPG. Basically.
RPG, yeah. When I was looking at it, I actually received my Game Informer. The art on the front cover is so beautiful. It is definitely a watercolor of Link and Zelda both holding hands on the Master Sword. Oh my god, this is giving me goosebumps.
Bob Ross over here.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
And for what it's worth, last month's issue with Overwatch oil painting on the cover was way cooler. But that's me. But you know, it's cool.
Just go ahead, shoot down what I have to say.
I'm not shooting it down.
Anyway.
Or just like
some elements that I read into that are going to be cool. You can camp. That does not actually bring up your life.
Yeah, I was going to say, but
unlike other Western RPGs such as Fallout, where you can sleep for 5 minutes and oh my god, I'm healthy again.
Yeah.
It does not fill up your hearts, but this one you can stay at inns, and if you stay at the inns and pay a little bit extra money for an upgraded bed, it will give you these yellow hearts along with your regular heart containers. Now, the yellow hearts, on the other hand, though, you only get once. Once you get hit and those are gone, you do not regain them.
That's it.
I do find that interesting. I could find that actually a good strategy for playing the game. Another big thing with it is interchanging of weapons. It's not just a sword this time, folks. One of the stills that I saw is Link riding on a horseback with a fucking pitchfork.
I think this is one of the things, like, when it was first announced, they tried to come all over, not to be gross, where they were like, you can use anything as a weapon, essentially. You can use a stick, you can use a paddle. I mean, it's pretty much a fishing rod. I think it's pretty open-ended as far as that.
Yeah.
But now that we're actually seeing images of it, it's badass.
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of go into. Think about like Wind Waker, where you could pick up sticks and like shit. Same goes for Ocarina of Time, even. But now they've enlightened it even more. Also, another thing, lightning strikes. Weather plays a big factor in this game.
Whether or not.
And from what I said, if you're caught in a storm and lightning is striking, if you have something metal that is equipped, lightning will strike you. And it will fuck you up. So be safe out there when exploring Hyrule this time around. of bringing the elements.
And you know what? Tip of the fucking hat. Because that was always something like when I played a Skyrim or something like that. I'm like, if I'm in a suit of armor, should I be in this storm? I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
But I can cast lightning, so I don't fucking know. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Nintendo for those little details can just add so much to a game. It really can. You know.
Other environments too, like of course that you can play in, but it's all open world. You can go into certain dungeons through the back door, as they say. Uh, all kinds of different stuff going on with this game. As far as picking up and finding items, scavenging. I really think it's going to be good. I really think as far as that goes, there's just a lot more elements involved.
Yeah.
For it to be a Zelda game. I'm really looking forward to it.
And for all the negative Nancy's, you know, when they heard the news about, you know, sleeping not replenishing hearts, well, Skyrim does this. When has Zelda game ever done that?
Yeah,
ever.
never.
So,
you never camp.
You guys wanted Zelda, then you got it.
Yeah, you got it. You got your Zelda Skyrim, okay? But it's not as good. It's not going to be as easy as you thought it would be.
Yeah. Take that.
Still, countdown. I mean, we're less than 2 weeks.
We are. I do not have it pre-ordered. You do. I'm not going to get it when it drops. I'm going to wait a while, but we're gonna have our friend Marla on for that episode.
Yes, we will have Marla on, and she will also be talking greatly about it. I think we're both going to be locking ourselves away from society for at least 24 hours to get as much high roll time in as we can.
No, I don't know about you. I did cheat a little bit, and I saw some playthroughs of people who got advanced copies, like the first, beginning of it or whatever. This starts out slow, obviously, but not as slow as you said a Final Fantasy 15 would. So,
it better throw me in the game.
So, like Skyrim, sooner than later, you're out in the shit, and you can pretty much do it. It's totally non-linear. That was another thing I meant to ask you. We were talking about 15 earlier. Is it really linear, or is it pretty much open-ended once it busts wide open? Like, no, in the beginning, more is it very linear?
So far, as I said, like talking about it earlier, I stopped where I was collecting what the father left me and stuff.
But it was very guided.
There's side quests, and then there's your main quest, which is hand-holding, which is linear, and then your side quests are not. So it depends on what you want to do, I guess, within the world of Final Fantasy 15.
Right. Awesome. I'm excited for Breath of the Wild. I'm pretty sure everyone is. It's got a lot to live up to, but I think it will. I think it'll please everyone across the boards. I mean, I think it's going to have something for everybody. It's just going to be one of those games, basically.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's the bullshit part of the show where we just,
bullshit session.
I'll say, shout out to my friend Woofy, who's in this collective Twitter group of like other YouTubers I'm in and stuff. He picked up a copy of Plumbers Don't Wear Ties for 3DO, and I called him a complete fucking masochist for
that's
one.
Awesome.
He got it for $30 too.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a game that sucks. And it's not good. It's definitely something.
But it's hilarious. It's a hilarious game.
It is. Angry Video Game Nerd Review is probably one of my favorites he's ever done of that. If you're a collector, I can definitely see why you have it in your collection.
I totally want it as part of my collection. I need it as part of my collection.
Shout out to Woofy again, who wants to come on the show in the future. So love to have him on. He has a podcast too. So yeah, someday we'll have Woofy on. You have 3DO collection.
I have.
You have Need for Speed. You have Need for Speed. That's it. That's all you have.
That's what I got.
Oh, I wasn't sure. Well, you have a 3DO at least, and I don't. So.
I don't have a 3DO.
Oh, you don't have a 3DO?
No, there's
no you just have the game.
I just have the game.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I don't have a 3DO game, so I'm trying. Shout out to Karen, Karen, who's actually in the studio in the background this week.
Hey, that's actually my Need for Speed game.
Yeah, it is technically hers. I got it for her.
Shots fired.
It's part of her. Karen has at least almost every iteration of Need for Speed ever created. I think we're missing one title. I think that's the original Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Yeah, the Wii U, Most Wanted.
Yes.
Yeah. How was that on the Wii U as far as like using the gamepad and stuff?
It was great. Actually, I liked using the gamepad because that was your map. That was where you got to select everything. It made everything easier instead of having to hit pause and going back and all that stuff. It made it more fluent.
Well, speaking of more fluent, I've enjoyed doing this live with you way more than any other episode we've ever had.
Yeah, this has been awesome.
Hopefully this becomes more of a common thing. We don't have to deal with bullshit like last episode. You guys had to deal with the audio quality. Apologies again for that, but hopefully it sounds way better for you guys this week. One more time, Tannen, where can everyone check us out on Facebook? All that good shit. And I guess I just said we're on Facebook. Tannen, where can everyone check you out on Twitter?
Check me out
That
on...
you never use, by the way. I tag you all the fucking
I
time
have a
and stuff.
horrible Twitter, but I have earned more followers, so thank you for following me, who has begun to follow me. I still get these messages like, blah, 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 has followed you, and I think one of them was Joshua, so shout out to Joshua for following me. That's awesome.
Holla, holla.
I am on Twitter at Tannens Bum.
Tannens Bum.
Tannens Bum.
I gave you one more chance to use your Twitter handle, and you always fuck it up. I always have to fix it.
And I am definitely around there. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get Twitter. If anybody can hand me an instructional thing on how do you use Twitter, 101, how do you twit? I would be more than happy to accept your instructions and maybe inspirational speeches on how one properly tweets.
This fucking guy can beat Wizards and Warriors blindfolded, but he can't use Twitter.
Damn right. And also, remember Super Mario Brothers 2 with my hands tied behind my back using just Toad.
Yeah. Ha! Ugh. Follow me at the Hibiki TMD on Twitter. Check out the Hibiki Team Facebook group. Check out the reset button page. Hit that like on the Facebook group. Tannen, it's been real, man. I don't got anything left this week. I pretty much think we got everything in.
Neither do I. I think we just emptied all the barrels. Fired them in the air.
Next, it is Solstice week. I'm excited. Finally, it's my turn, like I said. You're going to play some Solstice. I don't think you're going to like what you remember, because I don't think it holds up that great. But I still like it, I guess, because of childhood nostalgia. But I'm going to be really interested to see your take on it. But yeah. For Tannen, for me, that's all we got. You guys got to get out. It's the reset button. Let's hit it.
Reset button.
Hey guys, Travis here from Hibiki TMD, reminding you as always to follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. Check out the Reset Button podcast with myself and Tannen, Hibiki Quickie, Hibiki History, retrospectives, everything in between, retro gaming, and pro wrestling, not to mention my other podcast with the man himself, Michael.
Hey, you dirty fucking pigs. This is Mike from the Slam Pigs Podcast, reminding you to check us out on Twitter at the Slam Pigs Podcast, or check me out on Twitter at Mike the Slam Pig. Or Travis, where can they find that other show?
They can find everything in between right here on Hibiki TMD. I don't really think they're dirty fucking pigs.